Hi, welcome to Chats with Flo. I give self-development advice for your everyday life. I'm on a self-development journey of becoming a submissive wife. So I want to share some of the things that I have learned while on my journey of becoming a submissive wife. So this video is for women that's married, and this video is also for young adults that plan on getting married in the future. In this video, I'm going to be answering some basic questions and also sharing some things that I have learned about being a submissive wife. So make sure you stick around and watch the full video. Every so often, if you see me looking down, it's because I have my laptop in my lap and I have my questions written down on my laptop. Question number 1. When you're a submissive wife, is it such thing as gender roles? From my personal experience, I would say no. And the reason why I would say no is because my children was really young. Once they started kindergarten, I decided that I wanted a career. So in order for me to have a career, I wanted to go to college. While I was in college, I also decided that I wanted to start working. And I thank God for my husband, because I would not have been able to do that if he wasn't there to take care of the home. While I was at work, my husband would clean the house. He would cook. He would take care of my girls. The only thing that he wasn't good at is combing their hair. But it's kind of funny because me and one of my daughters, we were talking the other day and the conversation came up, and she was telling me, she said, "Mom, I'm so glad that when we were growing up that you guys didn't have a certain role that you played in our home." And that's so true. I felt good when she said that, because from the fact that you don't want your children to feel like it's certain roles that a woman should do in the home, there's certain roles that a man should or shouldn't do in the home. I mean, because the thing about it, one thing I love about my husband and our relationship, it was all about, we did what was best for our home, what was best for our household, and it was more about teamwork. And of course, before I decided to go to college and even start a career, I talked to my husband about it, and he was in agreement. So that makes a huge difference. Question number 2. Do you have to be a stay-at-home wife in order to be a submissive wife? And I would say no. And the reason why I say no is because I can remember my behavior then compared to my behavior now. I noticed that I respected my husband more. So the bottom line of what I learned about being submissive and where I'm at now, because now I'm a stay-at-home wife, and you would think that since I'm a stay-at-home wife that's going to automatically make me a submissive wife because I'm taking care of the home. But years ago, when I was in my career, I was more submissive then than what I am now. So what I want you to understand more than anything is being a submissive wife is not so much about the role that you play, whether or not you have to work. It's more about your attitude and your mindset towards your husband. It's about your behavior. And being a submissive wife is not about your personality. Because really, when you think about it, I am passive and I'm quiet. But because I'm passive and I'm quiet, it doesn't mean that I'm a submissive wife. And the reason why I say that, because I have to watch myself a lot of times. No, I don't just say what I want to say, but I'm thinking it. Or in my mind, I have a bad attitude, but of course, I'm not showing it. So that's why I'm saying that being a submissive wife is not so much about what you do at home, the role that you play, are, let's see, letting your husband to decide on all the decisions in your home. It doesn't mean that you are submissive when you do that. It's more about giving him respect and enjoy doing things for him. And it's also about listening. And just because you are a submissive wife, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have your own mindset. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have your own opinion. And it doesn't mean too that he don't need to listen to you. But what God has been showing me is that, okay, it's a scripture in the Bible. 1 Peter 3:1, that's a popular scripture. And it talks about how that we can win our husband through Christ by our conduct and by our attitude. So what happened, I thought about that, okay, if I can win my husband to Christ by the way I act and by being an example and having the right attitude, I can convince him to do other things and he don't even know it. So yes, we as women, we have power, but you just have to learn how to use that power. And I want to say this, as a Christian wife, you want to please God, and it's God's will for Christian women to be submissive to our husbands. In order to be a submissive wife, you have to allow your husband to lead you. But submitting means to respect your husband. Do what works for your marriage. Do what works for your household. I also want to add too, because I hear a lot of women, say that they would be a submissive wife to their husband, but first he got to do this or he got to do that. But you guys, if you want to be obedient and be in God's will, you have to submit to your husband, even if he's not in the place that he should be at. Instead of complain about it, pray for him instead. And not only that, pray and ask God to give your husband more wisdom. And also you can ask God to help your husband to, if your husband is not good at being a leader of your family, pray and ask God to help him to become a leader. And that's why too, I do want to say this to young adults that's single. Be careful about who you date. Be careful about who you marry, because one of the main things you want this person is you want him to be able to make good decisions. You want to be able to lean on him and be able to trust him. And also you want him to be able to be a great provider. And I want to say this too. My husband is an awesome provider, but even though he's an awesome provider, it doesn't make it just easy for me to submit. And I know the reason why it's hard for me to submit is because of the fact that it's God's will for marriages. And of course, the enemy, he knows too that it's gonna make him be more connected to me and also want to please me even more, which will make our marriage even stronger. So I challenge you to go on this journey with me. If you're not a submissive wife, become one. If this video was a help to you, leave me a comment at the bottom. If you are enjoying these topics about marriage and becoming a submissive wife, leave me a comment at the bottom. Thank you for watching Chats with Flo. Have an awesome day. Bye.